Hi guys, welcome to the very first podcast for Millennial Realty called The Agent Advantage, where we will connect, inspire and share tips on how you can grow your real estate career. Today I will be your host and my name is Botha and I'm the team leader at Millennial Realty, and we have a very special episode lined up for today. Joining me, of course, is none other than our principal and founder and visionary leader, Antonie Goosen. And we will be discussing the real estate event of the year called the Inman Connects, which you attended in January in New York City. Mm-hmm. Now, if you are wondering what the Inman Connect is, it's where the biggest names in the real estate industry come together, and it's people like top producing agents, tech innovators, visionary leaders, all of the above, the best of the best. So the aim of this event is to share ideas, connect with fellow agents, and then also just building relationships with the brightest minds in our industry, soaking in their wisdom. And you are here today to share your key takeaways or the inside scoop of what you learned and what it means for an agent. So thank you for joining me. I'm very excited to hear what it is that you brought back from the Inman Connects. And are you ready?
I am. Thank you so much, Amanda. Yeah, it was quite an interesting conference to attend. There was over 250 speakers from various different parts of the real estate industry, both American, being local in New York, and international speakers. Some of the people that were there that our viewers might know are celebrities like Mauricio Umansky from the agency, Ryan Serhant from Serhant, and then also the famous Selling Manhattan show on Netflix. There was Daniel Daggers of DDRE Global, Stephanie Birkin of R New York, and a few others as well. But those were just the celebrities. There were a lot of industry leaders as well that attended.
And can you briefly explain share what the event was about and why you feel it's so important to attend something like this?
It was, like you said in the introduction, it's people from industry-wide that come together and they share knowledge and delve into the latest trends in the real estate industry. What was quite interesting to me is the fact that, although we are from South Africa, we share a lot of the same issues and challenges and opportunities like our counterparts in Canada and the United States. But it being a thriving environment like it is in New York, there's so much going on, so much to learn. It was absolutely interesting.
Oh, fantastic. And your overall impression of the conference and moments that stood out, or specific speakers that stood out the most for you?
I was very privileged to attend the CEO Connect part of the conference. So that part is by invitation only, and it's only CEOs of companies that get invited to attend it. And there were absolutely incredible speakers. There I met and listened to people like Robert Refkin of Compass, Jeremy Watson of Zillow. There was Leo Parejo of EXP, and then also the well-known author Michael Wolff. So that was a morning that was something that will stay with me for a long time. They really delved deep into a lot of the industry trends, and then overall it was just an incredible experience. It was 3 solid days of different talks that you could tune into. Yeah,
that's an absolute privilege to be able to attend something like that. Antonie, one of the key themes was brokerage consolidation. How is this trend playing out in the US? And do you see similar patterns engaging in South Africa?
Yeah. So Amanda, what's apparently happening in the United States is more and more smaller agencies are being taken up by larger agencies. So your smaller moms and pop shops are joining some of the bigger agencies. And then another trend that they've spoke about quite extensively was mergers and acquisitions. So even the larger agencies are, buying up other smaller or medium-sized agencies, and there's a lot of consolidation that is happening. And it's certainly something that we are starting to see in South Africa more and more as well. Over the past month, 2 smaller agencies have basically, decided to join Meridian Realty as an example. So they are closing shop and then aligning with companies that provide them with a different service opportunity and a support structure. So it is something that I think we'll see more of in South Africa going forward.
Absolutely. Now, with the smaller agencies merging into the larger ones, what advice would you give to independent brokerages, trying to stay competitive?
I think it's going to become more and more difficult for really small agencies to remain competitive. So my advice would be make sure that you are operating in a specific niche, and that you make yourself an absolute expert in that niche, and that you focus on the best possible service delivery. Or alternatively, start looking a little bit broader at solutions where you can maybe align with a larger company that can provide you with more regulatory and marketing and service support, while still giving you the ability to run your business predominantly on your own terms.
Yeah. Antonie, the notes that you shared with me, and I quote, you mentioned that agencies that provide more value than what they charge will thrive. So how do you interpret this, especially in the context of Meridian Realty's offering?
Well, Amanda, at Meridian, we are absolutely obsessed with providing the best possible service to the agents that align with us. So we are a full-service virtual real estate agency, and we provide everything from professional photography, professional videography, social media marketing, personal branding for estate agents, administrative support, transaction management, so everything that you can think of that an agent actually needs out in the field. We've pulled together the right team to ensure that they get the best possible service. So we truly believe in providing everything that an agent needs. Obviously, the technological backbone as well, the CRM system, the access to property information and client information and all of those kind of things. All of that is part of what we offer at Meridian. Yeah,
no, absolutely. So you would say we are working at the best agency in South Africa.
Well, I would definitely say so, but I am biased.
Antonie, a hot topic was agent disintermediation. Yet the conclusion was clear. Agents are still very much needed. So what do you think attempts to cut out agents have largely failed? Why?
So it's very interesting. If you look at the amount of money that was spent over the last 10 years in the United States by very intelligent people trying to use tech platforms to actually cut out the agent. What's happened in most of those scenarios is either it did not work or they ended up utilizing agents within their model. So there was quite a lot of discussion on agent disintermediation, and the conclusion was it's something that's not happening. Whereas 5 years ago, they were quite concerned about it. And the reason I think it's not happening is buying and selling property remains a highly complex, highly emotional process for a buyer and a seller.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you need a person to guide you home, to help you work through the emotional things, help you work through the complexity. So agents are there as the last mile. They are truly needed to provide that support, and it's not going to change, not with artificial intelligence or technology platforms or anything like that.
Yeah. So how would you balance embracing technology while also maintaining the human touch so that, obviously it's critical in real estate. So how would you approach that?
By becoming a tech-enabled agent.
Okay.
So I would, tell agents they need to stay up to date with the latest technology. They need to use technology in order to help them make and nurture those connections on a human level. And that's where things like a proper CRM system is so incredibly important, so that you can have those touch points, when to follow up, who to reach out to when you're doing canvassing, who's got the highest propensity, for example, to sell at any given stage, and then use that kind of information to enable you to build human relationships.
Yeah, it's actually very true that what you're saying, because I've been playing around with our CRM in my recruiting attempts, and it's made everything so much better and easier for me to do the right thing, stay in contact with the right people at the right time, where previously if you had to try and do everything manually, you forget.
Absolutely, 100%.
So AI is also clearly going to reshape the property industry. So what are the most exciting or disruptive ways you see AI impacting real estate during the bought and sold process?
A lot was said on what's going to happen with artificial intelligence during the conference, so it was certainly a key theme. There were also quite a number of the portal CEOs that were present and had talks, and I think one of the areas where AI will make a very big difference is in terms of search. So at the moment, if you think of a portal like Private Property, for example, it's basically a filtered search. You look for a certain area, a certain amount of bedrooms, and you press the button and it gives you a certain price range and you search accordingly. Search will become a lot more conversational going forward. So artificial intelligence will enable you to just say to the system what you're looking for. It will probably be able to not only provide you with search results in a specific area, but also in other areas that you might not even know that will kind of suit your kind of style. Artificial intelligence in terms of search will be able to bring in a lot more information, even information that's from different sources, not just on the portal, and to collate that in a way that is relevant for you at that given juncture. It will probably enable you to do things like envisage your own furniture in a space, to see whether or not you can make changes to the space. So search is certainly going to become a lot more interesting. And then another field is obviously, like immersive 3D tours. I think what we'll start seeing is as technology gets better and easier, AI will be able to tour you through the property. You could ask it to show you the main bedroom, to show you what your king-size bed would look like in that bedroom, as an example. So
actually
it's
quite incredible.
it's the word that one of the speakers used was it will become almost magical. I think AI in that regard will make a big difference, and you will also find that there will probably be less leads, but it will be higher intent leads. So people will do a lot more research in the comfort of their homes and kind of decide on the relevant properties that they want to see before they actually go out and view it. Something that's already obviously happened with property portals, but it's going to become just a lot more effective in that regard. And then another field where I think artificial intelligence will make a massive impact is in valuations. AI can be trained, for example, to analyze pictures and videos of a property, and then it can have an overall idea of the quality of the fixtures and fittings, and then align that to the area in which it is, and then truly comparable properties with each other. Whereas at the moment, most valuation models will show you the 20 or 25 most recent sales in a given area and give you an average value of that area. Whereas with AI, it will become a lot more effective in giving you a true value of the specific property, because you are comparing apples with apples in a certain sense.
Will they take the immovable property condition report into account when they do the valuations or not?
I don't really think so. I don't want to comment on the immovable property condition report. Yeah, that would have been ideal if it was able to do that. Yeah.
How do you think the role of a property practitioner will evolve as AI becomes more deeply integrated into customer experience?
It will become less about the physical showing of the property. I think there'll be a lot more information that will be available to the client from technology platforms, etc. So it will be more like a consultative approach that agents will be there, like holding their hand, guiding them through it, making sure it's the right emotional decision for them to make.
AI agents embedded in virtual tours sounds futuristic. So how close are we to that reality? And what do you think it means for traditional property viewings?
I think we are closer to that reality than we might realize, probably a couple of months or a year or two away from seeing a lot more of those kind of applications coming into things like 3D Matterports and 3D virtual tours. So AI agents will be able to share certain characteristics of the property, give size, approximations of the property, give information about the area, the traffic, the schools, all of these things as you guide yourself through a virtual tour. So it will be able to provide a lot of the information that you'll actually expect at this moment for your agent to provide you. And obviously even more detailed information like income brackets and things like that within the area. And I think it's going to become more mainstream going forward.
Antonie, millennials make up the larger, the largest buyer group at the moment. So what changes in behavior and expectations are we seeing from this generation? Unique generation.
Well, it's definitely the largest buying group in America, and I think in South Africa at the moment as well. So they are the group of people that agents need to be focusing on. They want to communicate in a digital way. We're seeing that they're moving away from telephone calls and things like that. They prefer communication channels like WhatsApp as an example.
We don't like essays either. I'm a millennial, so I know.
and they expect more from the agent than previous generations. They want, for example, at 11 o'clock at night to be online, to be able to book a viewing and have that confirmed for the next day at 3 o'clock, as an example. So they expect things to happen speedily and for communication to be speedily from agents as well.
That's very true. How can agents adapt to buyers who expect digital communication, immersive search experiences, and on-demand appointments?
Being tech-enabled, making sure that you use functionality like video tours, 3D virtual tours. Make sure you align yourself with a company that provides you with those tools, like we do at Meridian Realty. And think of creative ways in which you can, impress and improve upon your speed to lead. Once you get that inquiry, react via a WhatsApp or via email quite quickly. Make sure that you stay ahead of the curve all the time.
Fast finger first. The number one negative feedback from customers were the lack of responsiveness. So why do you think this continues to happen in our industry, and why?
To be honest with you, Amanda, I don't quite understand it. It's like it's a big problem in our industry, and I just do not understand why agents don't get back to their clients. What you are referring to is a major survey that was done by Mike Delaprete, who's he collates a lot of data in the US and makes it available to the industry. And according to this survey, 50% of agents do not respond at all to inquiries.
That's I don't understand it.
It bogs my mind. So I think if you want to stand out as a estate agent, one of the very first things you can do is to actually respond and respond timeously. Speed to lead is absolutely critical. And there's so many tools today that, you can have an autoresponder on your WhatsApp if you're not available, just so that they know you will get back to them. Artificial intelligence bots will become more and more effective going forward. They will be able to probably, lead your client through a couple of question and answer sessions already before you actually make that first contact. So there's many innovative ways that we can use technology in order to ensure that we cling on to that client the moment they inquire. And we must also understand clients inquire to a lot of agents simultaneously. So it will be the ones that get back to them that will ultimately get the business.
Yes. transparency and accountability were highlighted as future cornerstones of the profession. So how can agents and brokerages embrace these values in practical ways?
Make sure that everything is on the table at all times. Being completely honest and open with your clients should be a non-negotiable. Don't withhold information about area prices or developments within the area, or maybe defects that you are aware of in the property. Just make sure that you share with them absolutely everything that is relevant or could be relevant to them. It is as simple as that.
Antonie, what technologies and industry models should South African agents and brokerages be paying attention to?
Well, we still sit with the majority of South African brokerages that fall under the traditional model, but there are more and more progressive models out there. So if I was an estate agent at the moment, I would look at virtual models. I would look at agencies that provide real quality technological platforms for their agents and the relevant training in order to be able to access and utilize those technologies. I would look at getting the necessary support in order to build my business as an agent, but obviously also with the commission split that's fair to the agent that puts in, at the end of the day, the bulk of the work.
Antonie, and everything that you learned at the Inman Connect, is there anything that you brought back that you want to implement at Meridian Realty?
Amanda, to be honest, we've always been a progressive company. It's part of our DNA. So attending Inman was more about, learning the latest trends and ensuring that we're still aligned with it. But going forward, we just want to continue making sure that we are at the forefront of the industry, that we provide the best tech to our agents, the best support to our agents, the best marketing to our agents. So there's nothing groundbreaking that we're not currently doing that I want to bring in, but I always strive to keep abreast of the latest developments and trends.
And if you had to sum it up, what would you say is the biggest opportunity that agents have in South Africa right now?
I think the biggest opportunity for real estate professionals now lies in becoming hyper-local, tech-enabled advisors who offer a deeply personalized client experience. So with buyers and sellers that are increasingly turning to online platforms for information, there's a gap and a huge opportunity for agents who combine local expertise with data-driven insights and authentic relationship building. I think that's where it lies.
All right. Well, I think that's all of the questions that I had. So thank you so much for sharing with us what you learned at the Inman Connect. I think your insights into the future of real estate and along with the tools and the strategies that you brought back for Meridian Realty are truly inspiring. And to our listeners, I hope you are as excited as I am about what's to come in our industry, whether it's embracing new technologies or redefining marketing strategies. I think you mentioned actionable takeaways in this session. And thank you again for your time and your vision and always leading the way for everyone at Meridian Realty. We are incredibly blessed to have you, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen in the future for Meridian Realty. I think we are on the path to something truly remarkable. So thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. I really, truly appreciate your time this morning.
All right.
Okay.
And to everyone else tuning in, please remember to share this episode with your fellow agents. And until next time, I hope you stay motivated, push boundaries, and just try and make the best year out of this year yet. So thank you.
Pleasure.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.